in a weird way, I almost want you in character for a minute, because the one thing we didn't touch on there is like, what's going on with the wise man? Everyone's expecting, is this the end of the Paul Heyman Roman Reigns relationship? CM Punk, the original Paul Heyman guy, is back. We didn't see Paul for a while, came back looking tanned and rested. That whole layer alone on top of the match will have people tuning in and.
Well, yeah, I just gave you, I can speak from a broad perspective, but yes, now you're talking about the right now. I was just kind of putting it all into this 4 year, even just narrowing it down to just the past 2 years. But yeah, you're speaking specifically about right now. Paul's been incredibly shady, if you don't ask me. People ask, and I've seen some of the speculation of, well, you didn't answer his phone calls and all this and that. But at the end of the day, when I take my leave, there's no question of what I'm doing. I'm recessing back to family to, change the hat, to put on that fatherhood hat, to refocus. That way I can come in and come back and dominate and run the show and represent my family at the highest capacity, at the highest standard possible. So there's no questions when I leave. The question is what happened with him. So,
Right.
there's a lot of things that we just haven't had the time to really, dive into. And that's just been kind of this train wreck of a return that it's been for me. I thought wearing the crown was a hell of a burden. Trying to put all the pieces together when power behooves you is incredibly difficult. So yeah, right now I have just as many questions for the wise man as you, and I just haven't had the time, just due to our busy schedules, moving in and out. I don't stay in the towns. I jet in and out that day and that night, so he doesn't get much of my time when he does. But there, like you said, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered for sure.
Just so rude. He wouldn't text you his number. So rude.
And that's the thing. I'm not a technology guy. It took you 2 years to get me on this phone. You know what I'm saying?
I remember the first interview we did. You didn't have Twitter. You didn't have Instagram. You told me you would never be on it and all that. So
none of that crap. None of it. I don't want it. Someone tried to get me on WhatsApp the other day. I think it might have been Paul, or I don't even know who it was, but maybe that's what it was. Is I just refused. I don't want more apps. I don't want more connectivity. I don't need it. We're connected enough in this world. And I've drawn a line of how much I'm willing to do that. I still like a bit of the old school. I still like being a traditional man.